guy? Who's this guy
Who's
over
this
here?
guy over here?
Hey, bada bing.
That's it.
Stephanie Lee,
Yes, Greg.
you are here on Podcast Beyond,
I am indeed.
the podcast with the most dedicated following on IGN. You've come to make a decree to them, a cry for assistance to arise from their Podcast Beyond layers.
Lord Vader. Right.
Earned Padme.
Is she
And we've
alright?
already derailed it.
Well, thanks for coming by.
Well, see you guys.
You're here to talk about IGN All-Stars. Lay it on me. What's this all about?
Yeah, it's a new community-focused program. And let me back up a little bit here. Last time I was here, I was still a full-time editor working on wikis. I'm still full-time here, but now I'm kind of on, like, the community side of things. Though not exactly community, I'm still in the wikis team.
Uh-huh.
And so what I've been working on in the last couple weeks is this All-Stars program. And what I've learned from working on wikis is that, and I think Colin can attest to this, is like it's quite often very kind of like a thankless job, and you just put in so many long, tedious hours, right?
Yes,
And it's hard to get
yes.
recognition for it. People really underestimate the amount of work and time we put into these things. And now that we have Wiki's platform, we have so many people from the community also contributing to these wikis. The All-Stars program, one of the things it does is basically recognize these people and kind of put them on a platform to have and point like a giant neon sign saying, hey, this guy is really freaking awesome, and we appreciate all the hard work he's put into this Where's My Water wiki. So, and little known fact, actually, me and Colin go way back. Like, I've known Colin technically for about, I don't know, what is it, 12 years now? Like, we both started on Game Facts, and fact writers back in the day, and I think they still are like an obsessive type of folk.
Colin, obsessive.
And the reason I'm bringing this up, like, that was a specific tool set we were given to kind of hone our craft and kind of break into video games writing. And now there's so many more options out there. There's YouTube. There's lots of blog platforms. We even have a blog that you can write here on IGN. And now we have wikis. And so this All-Stars program focuses on kind of combining all of that and just picking the best people who blog, the best people who write wikis, the best, most vocal people and passionate people who are, still friendly, respectful in the community and not trolling. And just kind of inviting them into this program so that we can recognize them more and kind of get them more closely connected to us.
Right.
Because right now, one of the things we're doing for these people is like we're putting their content, the things that they contribute, like on the front page of IGN. Like, for those of you who visit IGN on a daily basis, you might notice a lot of community blogs being put up. That's kind of one of the things we're doing. So, it's an ongoing program. You can nominate yourself, and if you do good work, I'll definitely extend an invite to you.
And what's the monthly fee?
The monthly fee is all your time and soul. No. And this is a great tool set for
There's
writers.
no
Like, this
monthly
is
fee.
huge. Like, if I had this opportunity back in high school when I was like, still in that obsessive, just spending, 8 hours just writing and playing video games. I would have flipped out if my stuff was being read by thousands and thousands of people. So.
Well, it's one of those things, right? Like, I think every time, there it is. One of those things. I say that too much, I've been told. It's one of the very interesting aspects of whatever. I get asked all the time, what should I be doing right now if I want to get into the industry? And you should be writing, and you should be making YouTube videos, and you should be trying to figure out what you want to do and what you're great at. So it's one of those things where, for sure, you should be doing blogs, and for sure, if you can, even like, we talk about guides and what you guys did on Game Facts. Like, you did huge guides for games. You can do it about one specific thing. Like wikis, you can just pop in and do different parts of it, right? If you're really into collecting blast shards and Infamous, or whatever, you could go make sure that's all up to date and where it needs to be. And if you're really into, just collecting this or doing these side quests or whatever, or if you're just doing one side quest and you had trouble in it and you don't know how to do it, and then you figure it out through the internet or through a friend, then you go and you work out a little part of the wiki that is it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Stephanie's talking about how it gets you in touch with people and, gives you this voice. It's all about, like networking and whatever. Like, Colin can tell you, he was just an annoying kid that, did guides, then finally got hooked up with Mark Ryan, and then found out somebody quit, and then kept annoying Mark Ryan, and then look at him now.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing for Stephanie. She started annoying Colin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be fair, actually,
You were very annoying, is
in
what I was told.
2002, I believe that's when
Annoying.
IGN Facts channels first opened up,
Mm-hmm.
and Stephen Ing was and he's still here. He was the editor who reached out to
All of us.
to all of us, and that's how we kind of started in
Yeah.
the.
So now you're doing the same thing, just on a very wide
Exactly.
shotgun radius.
It piggybacks on what you're already doing for IGN. Like, if you already love, if your dream is to just write about video games and just be involved in this industry, just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll eventually notice. And you obviously have to, like, sometimes reach out to us too, because I can't see everything. They haven't invented the all-seeing eyes yet at Google. Or wherever they're.
I'm sure they're working on
Well,
it.
Sauron has that.
I mean, I'll say this, like, to reiterate, because I do the first Friday thing, which is when kids come, or adults really come to the
You get a tour of
office,
IGN.
and they tour, and then we do a Q&A or whatever. And I always tell them, like Stephanie had already said, like, the tools when I broke into the industry, when Stephanie started writing and everything, were very limited, and we still made it work by being, like, really passionate about certain things. And there's really no excuse now to not do what you're doing to try to get noticed, because there's all these platforms. And, like, I guess I look at it as people, like, think that they have to work hard and then they have to, apply and do all these things. And you have to do those kinds of things. But I always look at my own experience as when Stephen Ing contacted us for IGN Facts or whatever, like, they offered me the guides freelance position. I didn't ask for it, because it was something, like, they saw the passion and how much work I was doing. And the same thing when, we laugh about it and joke about it, but when Jason, quit in 2007 and I had graduated college, that job was offered to me. I didn't, like, it wasn't like there was, like, you have to apply, we'll get all these things, like, because they knew how much I wanted it already. And so
we want to bring in people who know what they're doing and are the best.
Yeah, so, like, you build up that cadence and you do it. There's just no excuse. If you really, really, really want it, you can get it. Like, that's it. That's it. We proved it. We proved it on a much more limited scale at a time when it was much harder to do, and I'm proud of that. And I'm sure Stephanie is too. It's really not that hard anymore. It's just not. So,
though I would say on the counter argument to that is, now the industry has, I feel like the industry is getting more and more aggressive each passing year, to the point of where it's there are more platforms, but the competition is so much fiercer.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
The competition is fierce, but
the platforms exist.
the platforms exist, and if you want it, you can get it. That's all I'm trying to say is, like, if you try really hard, if this is something you set your mind to, if you really want it, we always get these emails like, I'm going to work at IGN one day, or I'm 15 years old, I'm 16 years old. It's like, okay, I believe you, because you know what? I was 15 years old or 16 years old, and I said the same thing, and I did it.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Is it's all self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you want to sit there and be like, I'd love to work at IGN, but it'll never happen, then it's never going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. When I mean, Colin and I are a similar story. Of, like, I knew from the 4th grade I wanted to write about video games professionally, and there was never any. This is never going to happen. It was maybe maybe I'll take this job in a newspaper and do this, that, and the other. But eventually, I'm going to get there. This is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, and people see that, and that's passion. That's what drives people, and that's why I think the IGN staff as a whole is so head and shoulders above everyone else, you know what I mean? Because we are all that person. We are all that, like, it was great, right now at IGN, all the main bosses are gone. Tal, Casey, Steve, Pear, all over in Europe right now, all over in the UK, meeting up with IGN Middle East, IGN UK, IGN EU, blah, 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 blah. And it was one of those things where Goldfarb made the joke of, well, I guess none of us are coming in next week. And then Anthony's like, well, I have to because blah, blah, blah. And then we were all like, well, we're all clearly coming in and we're not going to work any less hard, right? Like, we're all going to come in and put in the same amount of hours, because it's not about getting recognized by your boss. It's about that we want to tell you and share this conversation with you and talk about games with our friends. And that's why I always say, if you listen to the show, you're a friend, you're not a fan, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And I just think, in 2002, if they could, like, offer me that position, or in 2007, if they can be like, well, you showed all this passion when you were a freelancer, come work with us if you want. If they can do that, then certainly if you make a name for yourself on YouTube, if you put the years of time in and the dedication and the knowledge, we will find you too. I mean, it goes both ways. Like, if you're doing something so impressive that we can't ignore you, then we're going to find you. And we're going to want you. And so it goes both ways. And so I think that this is a great platform. All-Stars is a cool platform because it's very reminiscent of the things that we did to try to get into this industry, but it's a great platform. No one said, like, write this guide and then we're going to put it on the front page of IGN.com. That never happened. You had to write small guides to work up to the better guides. So you start picking the guides you wanted to write, to do all those things, to become an editor. You start small. This seems you're starting kind of somewhere in the middle where it's like everyone's going to see your stuff already. And even if it doesn't work out on IGN, hell, it might work out on another site, another platform.
And that's one of the most interesting things for me is when I'll look around IGN and some of the wikis that haven't taken off yet are for big games. You know what I mean? It's like, well, hell, if I was on the outside, like I would be trolling this. What's popular on IGN right now? You know what I mean? Oh, well, let's go contribute to that. And then tweet at us about it. Tweet at Stephanie about it. What's your Twitter?
It is at Super LEE7.
Oh, Super Lee 7. Oh, I gotcha.
Super Leet.
Super Lee 7. Got it. Looks like Lee's Deli
Stephanie,
a lot.
how can people reach out to you if they'd like to get more information about the platform?
So you can actually learn more about it at ign.com/all-stars.
Oh, there you go.
Plural.
Battle Royale. Nice.
We're just gonna pit all the IGN community members and have them battle it out.
Okay.
Yeah, Battle Royale
just
style.
fight to the death.
And it's like such a far cry from years past where big outlets like us weren't actively looking for talent. I mean, now we're definitely looking for the best people from the community because we want to showcase your work.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things. The way I always look at it is like you're out there making this content already. A lot of you on YouTube, and that's the other thing too. If you're making YouTube videos, you are so foolish not to be embedding them in the IGN wiki because we don't own that YouTube video. We have nothing to do with that YouTube video, and you come and put it there and get free publicity for your walkthrough of whatever on this. It's like seems like a slam dunk.
Yeah, plus you're making money on your AdSense and stuff like that.
Money.
So, yeah. It's just I just want to reiterate, like because we get those tweets, we get those emails, like I want to work at IGN. What do I do? I'm going to work at IGN. Like that's the mentality. I believe you when you say something like that. I believe it. I believe it completely. So just go on All-Stars and make it happen.
Users lose all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.